All right, I'm back to talk about two more of the top interview questions that you are likely to be asked in an interview. You can pretty much bank on these questions being asked. So they are the why do you want to work here question and why should we hire you question. So we're going to start with why do you want to work here? The interviewer genuinely wants to know what you like about their company, its products, the industry reputation, its cultures. So you have to ask yourself, what is driving you to want to work for them? Excuse me. This question is a chance to express why you want to be a member of their team. And most importantly, the contributions you feel that you'll be as a loyal employee. Always talking about the value that you are going to bring. You have to make yourself stand out from all the other candidates for this position. You're not the only one applying for it. So what is the value that you are going to bring? This question really helps weed out desperate job seekers. So you don't want to say stuff like, oh, I just need a job, or I heard you guys pay well, or my friend works here. Those are things that it just makes you sound like a desperate job seeker. And like we talked about in some of the other videos, a company wants to hire someone who feels the same way. They want to, passionate about their company as they feel. They don't want to hire someone who just wants a job because then you're a flight risk. They're going to pour all this time, resources, money into you, train you, onboard you, everything like that, just to have you take all that, training and knowledge in 6 months or a year and leave. They want to know that you are wanting to work for them because there's something unique about this particular company. So ask yourself, why do you want to work there? So tell them what you like about their business and why. Again, it's their product, their reputation, or their services. You need to express genuine interest. They can tell if something's fake. So don't be fake. When my son was asked this, I don't know if I have shared this with you guys yet or not, but my son went and applied at Beef O'Brady's. And he at the time was 16 years old, and this was the first job he ever had. He got it through his father, so he didn't really have to go through the interview process. So this was his first time actually out seeking jobs on his own and going through the interview process. So not only did he look amazing, he was dressed up, very nice. He had a copy of his resume, which they weren't expecting that from, a minor. But they asked him, why do you want to work here? And he nailed this question. He told them because he had done the research and, he was prepared. He told them, well, I know that since 2008, you guys have donated 8 billion pounds of food to our local community. And as an Eagle Scout, I'm heavily invested in my community and I want to work for a company that cares as much about my town as I do. And they hired him on the spot. He made a personal, emotional connection. First of all, he showed them that he cared because he did the research. The person interviewing probably didn't even know that they had done that much, but it was on the website. He put forth the effort. And then he made that emotional, personal connection to the fact that he's an Eagle Scout and that he has done things for his community and he respects this company because they care about his community. So it was a genuine interest and it really, really, really impressed them. All right, this is a great time to compliment them, maybe on their products or their reputation or things that they're doing. Just make sure it is genuine because if it's fake, it's going to come across as fake and then you're just going to look inauthentic. Dig deep to find out what it is that attracts you to them and express yourself. Be prepared with an answer that shares one simple reason. You don't want to just start rattling off all of these things. Pick something that really resonates with you, that made you really want to work for this company. What was it? Now, of course, as I always say, have a couple more in your back pocket because they might say, oh, that's really wonderful. Is there any other reason? Or, can you elaborate on that? Follow-up questions are always fair game. So in order to create your answer, what you want to do is sit down and think, okay, why did I apply to this company? What is it that attracts me to this job? And then go ahead and write that reason down. And then you're going to connect the reason for wanting to work there to something personal or possibly emotional, if you can, like the way that my son did with the Eagle Scout and the donating the food. This will just really help reinforce your answer. So what is it that really stands out? Especially if you're going into a field where you could do this particular job in several different companies, why this particular company? And then think about what you are best at doing as it relates to the job requirements. Always, all of your questions are going to go back to the job, go back to the job description. You're connecting the dots between the job description and you, showing them always the value that you bring and how you're the best candidate, and that you have the skills that they need. And so you pretty much make it like a no-brainer for them. So you just kind of want to put it all together and kind of like tell it as a story. Personal answers that make connections to the company, maybe their mission or their culture, are definitely the strongest. Okay, so give one solid reason with a deep meaning that allows you to leave a lasting impression in your interviewer's mind. Again, you're connecting the dots, but you're also competing against everybody else who's applying for this position. So you want to make sure that you stand out from the crowd instead of just giving some generic, answer like, oh, well, I know that I had the skills that you're looking for. I know that I would do this job well. I've done this, these similar things in my previous employment. It really needs to be a connection to this specific company. I did the same thing when I, came to Florida Southern. Very similar to my son's answer, Florida Southern is heavily invested in the local community. And my answer was, I live here, work here, play here. I'm raising my family here. And I want to work for an organization that cares as deeply about my, community as I do. Especially my children are coming up in this community. And it was really important to me. And I feel like that helped set me aside from any of the competition that was also, interviewing for my position. And I was offered the position. So again, make that deep personal connection if you can, if it can be emotional, if possible. There was a great example that I came across where somebody was going like to be, I don't know, accounts payable or something like that, like at a dialysis clinic. And they asked this question, why do you want to work here? And if their grandmother had gone through dialysis at that specific clinic. And, they said something similar like, hey, like when my grandmother was going through this, she came through the program and everybody was so wonderful and helpful and loving and kind. And it really helped ease her through her treatments. And I knew that this was the company for me. I want to be a part of that so that I can help other families feel as awesome as you guys made us feel during my grandmother's, illness or treatment or whatever, however they worded it. So if it can be personal is best, emotional, something that's going to leave a lasting impression. Stories always leave people with a lasting impression. So that is how you're going to answer the why do you want to work here question. Okay. So the next one is somewhat similar, not 100%, but this is the why should we hire you? So you talked about why you want to work there, and now they want to know why should they hire you? So I absolutely love this question. This gives you a unique opportunity to prove that you are the best candidate for the job. So the key to answering this question effectively and where it's going to really leave a lasting impression is to discover the needs of the employer for the role. Remember, the only reason the job opening exists is because that there is a need to accomplish something or solve a problem. That's it. There's a problem, you are the solution. So when you can show that and demonstrate that, again, going back to the job description and talking about the value you're going to bring, you're really going to nail this question. This is your opportunity to tell them why you are the best fit, connecting those dots. All right. So how you're going to do this is you're going to take the job description before, obviously well before the interview. I do this with a couple different highlighters. I print out the job description and I read it over and over and over, to make sure that I'm looking for patterns. I want to look for patterns or problems. And as I see that there's they're addressing a problem or a need, I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to use different colored highlighters to mark different needs. Usually you'll only uncover maybe 2 to 3 actual needs, but the key to uncovering their needs is in how many times they mention the problem or the need. So you want to look for repeating patterns and use those keywords. All right, so after now that you know how to uncover their problems, so you've gone through the job description, you've highlighted it, you see, okay, so you've uncovered 2 or 3 needs, whatever those may be. And then you can answer this question pretty easily because you're going to prove that you can help solve their problems. So a good kind of connect the dots formula for this particular answer would be, let them know that you understand their blank, which is their problem, right? Because you did blank in your last job, and here how you're going to do blank for them in the in this job. So that blank is that placeholder for their problems, the needs, and your past experiences. When you connect the dots to show them that you understand their challenges and how past experiences have prepared you to help them solve their problems or needs, that's why you are the best fit. You're the best choice. Not a lot of people do any kind of this interview prep the way that I'm trying to help you learn how to do. Just these small little things that you can do ahead of time is really going to make you stand out ahead of your competition. But when you can clearly identify their problem, what they need, what they're looking for, and that you not only do you understand it, but you can do it. And especially when you can tie it back to a previous experience, you're kind of painting that beautiful picture where they can visualize you in the role doing the things that you're talking about in the interview. Because not only do you understand that what needs to be done, you have done it in the past. So you already know how to do it. And so that's the value that you're bringing because, hey, I know that this is what you need, and I'm the person that's going to be able to do that for you. So when you connect the dots and demonstrate your understanding of their challenges, they will see you as the obvious choice. All right, so how are you going to create your answer? Again, print out the job description and use different colored highlights to identify repeating patterns of their problems or needs. And then you're going to take your resume and you're going to put it side by side to the job description. And then you want to draw lines, from the needs to your experiences that you could use to clearly demonstrate how you're capable of solving their problems. When you can connect it back to a previous experience, you really, truly do show them, that you are capable of doing this. You're offering this tangible evidence that you know what their problem is and that you are capable of fixing it for them and doing it for them. So make sure that's on your resume and that you can talk intelligently about that. All right, so you're going to put it together. You're going to acknowledge their problems to demonstrate your understanding of them. You're going to talk about how you solved the same or similar problems in a last job or experience or internship or even a club or organization if you don't have any previous work experience. Whatever has prepared you to take on these challenges, and talk about what you did for them in this job and why hiring you would be beneficial to them. Excuse me. When you can nail that question, these two questions together, why should we hire you? Why do you want to work here? Again, you're really showing that you have done your research, that you are prepared, that you are enthusiastic, that this is not just a job for you, that this is something that you really, truly want. And you're connecting those dots between the job description and your resume and how you are the best candidate for the position. I mean, you really do become the obvious choice. And so then it's just up to them to, connect the dots, but that's your job, is to show them, lead them that way so that they see you as the best candidate. All right, I love those two questions, but that takes a lot of prep on your part. And what you do, if you do a lot of the front work and that front loading, then, and you get into interview, you're going to be so confident. Your confidence is the number one skill that you can master in any of this stuff that we've been talking about. So you're going to be confident, you're going to be comfortable, you're going to know that you've nailed these questions, you're going to know that, that you've been prepared, and that you're going to leave them with this lasting impression that this is you are the best choice for this. All right, we have one more to go over. That'll be for next week. So hope you have enjoyed these. Again, as always, if you have any questions, email me, make an appointment with me, swing by my office. I'm here, 3rd floor, Becker. All right, guys, take care. Talk soon if I can talk.